Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to present you our survey of Moscow Exchange. Moscow Exchange is the largest stock exchange holding company by the number of customers and volume of trading in Russia and Eastern Europe. It was founded in December 2011 by the merger of two largest Russian exchange group, the Moscow Interbank Currency Exchange Group and the RTS Group. Recent market capitalization of MOEX is about $4.97 billion. The structure of Moscow Exchange provides the opportunity to trade in all aspects and spheres of major asset classes. The company provides services in such segments of the financial market as foreign exchange market, federal bonds market, and cash equities market, etc. Moscow Stock Exchange is in the top of 25 of the world's leading stock exchanges by total market capitalization of tradable shares, as well as the top 10 sites of volume of trades in bonds and future contracts. The stock market of the Moscow Exchange admitted to trade in the securities of the largest Russian companies in terms of market capitalization.
Companies in the industry operate physical or electronic marketplaces to facilitate the buying and selling of stocks, stock options, bonds, or commodity contracts. There are 60 major stock exchanges in the world with a total value of about $69 trillion United States dollars. 16 exchanges, each with a total market capitalization over $1 trillion United States dollars, are considered to be included in the $1 trillion club. These 16 exchanges account for about 87% of total market capitalization. Major stock exchanges include the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, which is itself bigger than world's 50 smallest stock exchanges, Nasdaq OMX Group, and BATC Global Markets, all based in the US, as well as Japan Exchange Group, formed by the merger of the Tokyo Stock Exchange and Osaka Security Exchange, London Stock Exchange, Euronext, Netherlands, etc. Regardless of their location, major exchanges are global in scope. The slide demonstrates peer analysis for Moscow Stock Exchange and its global competitors.
The recent monthly relative strength index of Moscow Exchange is 68.2. The default time frame for comparing up periods to down periods is 14, as in 14 days. This indicator helps to determine overbought and oversold price levels, as well as to generate buy and sell signals. The stochastic oscillator equals to 59.5, which means that the current recommendation is to buy MOEX shares. This indicator uses support and resistance levels. The commodity channel index is a versatile indicator that can be used to identify a new trend or warn of extreme conditions. CCI equals to 235.5, which is also considered to be overbought. The high-low index is a breadth indicator based on record high %, which is based on U52-week highs and U52-week lows. The record high index equals new highs divided by new highs plus new lows. High lows is 1.4 and recommends to buy MOEX shares. Bull bear power is 3.1, which means that the shares are recommended to be bought. This indicator used to measure the strength of the bulls and bears in the market. The stronger one is over the other, the more quantified prices are.
A dividend policy of Moscow Exchange participant paying out no less than 35% of unfairest net profit. A price earning ratio TTM is amounted to 10.87. This ratio evaluates a company that measures its current share price relative to its per share earnings. Price to sales ratio TTM is 6.7. It is a valuation ratio that compares a company's stock price to its revenues. The price to sales ratio is an indicator of the value placed on each dollar of a company's sales or revenues. A price book value ratio is an investment valuation ratio used by investors or finance. providers to compare market value of a company's shares to its book value shareholder equity. For Moscow Stock Exchange PB ratio MRQ is 2.5. Earnings per share growth 5YA is 34.9%. Return on equity, which measures corporation profitability by revealing how much profit a company generates with the money shareholders have invested. 5YA in 22.3%. The return on assets ROA ratio illustrates how well management is employing the company's total assets to make a profit. Moscow Exchange return on assets TTM is 1.44%. Return on assets 5YA is 1.97%.
The main part of assets of Moscow Exchange consists of cash and short-term investments. In 2011, the proportion of cash and short-term investments was amounted to 60%. In 2015, the share of cash rate and short-term investments decreased in comparison with 2011 by 1.3 percentage points and amounted to 1,037.1 million rubles. The share of long-term investments in 2011 made up about 25.9% of Moscow Exchange assets, or 89.9 million rubles in absolute terms. The share of long-term assets in 2015 compared to 2011 increased by 13 percentage points and amounted to 38%. In monetary terms, this indicator in 2015 amounted to 686.5 million rubles. The share of other assets decreased from 14% in 2011 to 2% in 2015. In total liabilities and shareholders' equity of Moscow Exchange in 2015, a long-term debt had about 29.4 share, which amounted to 518.5 million rubles. In 2011, Moscow Exchange had no long-term debt. 63.4% or 1.12 billion rubles account for the other liabilities, which decreased by 23.8 percentage points compared to 2011. The total equity made about 6.4% or 130.4 million rubles in 2015.
Political and macroeconomic risks. Economic sanctions against Russia can indirectly affect Moscow Stock Exchange's operating model, as well as cause the issues of cooperation with foreign partners. Russian economy is highly dependent on the price and level of natural resource exports, and especially on the oil market situation. Due to the uncertainty dynamic of situation in the future, the high level of economic risks remains. Personnel risk occurs due to the particular specific of Moscow Exchange's operational processes and dependence on the company's staff's successful performance. Regulatory and legal risks are actual for the company due to its strong connection with standardization of the financial infrastructure. Reputational risks mean a danger of losses and reduction of the number of bidders. These challenges are managed by the company's events organized and constant measures. Information security risks, meaning danger of confidentiality loss, remain on high level due to the recent modification of company's information system. Nevertheless, the strategy of reducing these challenges developed by the company resists their impact. Corporate governance. Moscow Exchange is managed in accordance with corporate governance best practices. All of its governing bodies correspond to the company charter and Russian legislation. Moscow Exchange's governing bodies are General Shareholder Meeting attendees, Supervisory Board with Alexander Kudrin as a chairman, and Executive Board. The company's controlling body is Revision Commission. Moscow Exchange internal control system is based on ensuring that the operation comply with legislation governing organized trading and associated legislative acts. The Internal Audit Department is responsible for the ongoing implementation of internal control. Thanks for your attention.